Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my fictional short stories. This may be my favorite ever. It's called Dribble. Rocky meets Mrs Maisel. My father is Hasidic. You know, the tiny percentage of Jews who wear black suits and black hats, and live like it's the 13th century. Worse, he's the rabbi. Even worse, he's the rabbi of a synagogue in the middle of Chassid land, the Borough Park section of Brooklyn. I don't have a mother. Soon after I was born, she told my father she had enough of the, quote, religious extremist craziness, and we never heard from her after that. And when I was just 3, or maybe it was 4, I was old enough to realize why. My father had already sent me to his cheder, a Hebrew first school, where he was the principal, and where we started each morning by wrapping our wrists in a leather strap with a prayer attached reminding us to be good. And on Saturday we had to go to services, hours-long prayers, mainly in Hebrew, and a lot in praise of God. I thought, if God's so great, why does he need us praising him for 2 hours every Saturday? What bothered me even more is that when I was nervous, I drooled. But for my classmates, it was a second reason for them to make fun of me. The first reason was that I was the tallest kid in the class. They took to calling me Dribbling Goliath. One day, when I was in the 5th grade, the teacher hit my hand with a ruler for not paying attention. You see, the recess bell had already rung, and so I was looking out the window, eager to finally get out of my seat. The pain was nothing, but it was embarrassing, so I started crying, and as soon as she let us go, I ran out to the schoolyard so the kids wouldn't see my tears. And drooling. I wandered around, sad, and a man came over. I had noticed him walking out from delicious knishes. Because he wasn't wearing a long black coat and a hat, I figured he wasn't from Borough Park, but was just there for our knishes, potato pies wrapped in crust. He asked, "What's the matter?" I said, "Nothing." Not wanting to push, he looked around the schoolyard, and asked, "How come that basketball backboard has no rim?" I shrugged, and he said, "That's crazy. Kids need a basketball for recess, especially because you're tall for your age." I said, "I don't know how to play basketball." And he said, "I can teach you. Who's the principal?" Next I know, he had convinced my father to let him put up a rim. What convinced my father was, kids need to let off steam so they can pay attention in class. Perfect. His name is Jacob, and he explained that he's free during the day because he has the night shift as a warehouseman. Every day he taught me shooting, dribbling, defense, and he insisted I was a natural. For 3 years he never missed a day. To help keep me motivated, he would pretend to be Marv Albert, sportscaster for the New York Knicks, and do the play-by-play with me as the star. 3 seconds left. David drives to the hoop and scores. Knicks win! One day, he brought another man with him. "Hi, I'm Matt Knight. I'm a high school basketball coach, and Jacob says you got some hoop." I got nervous, but Jacob said, "Show him something. Just one move." I drooled, pushed away the drool from my face, went to the free throw line, faked left, went right, and dunked. No biggie, but he said, "Kid, we want you in our high school. Can I speak with your parents?" I explained there's no way. I have to stay at Base Eretz Yisrael Cheder. But he said, and Jacob insisted. So I didn't think I had a choice. I whispered, "I don't have a mom, but my dad's the principal, and he's in there." Of course my father said no, and then exploded when Coach Matt revealed which high school. Christ the King. Without thinking, I got angry, flashing on all the misery I had as a chassid and in cheder, and I took a set of phylacteries that was on my father's desk, threw it down to the ground, and yelled, "I am going. I am fucking going." Of course my father tried to prevent me. He tried to pull me out of the car. David was going to drive me to school. My father followed him and stomped into the principal's office. "My son will stay at Base Eretz Yisrael." The principal replied, "Do you love your son?" "Of course." "Is it really best for him to never have a choice about how to live?" "Having seen life here, if he still wants to come back to Hasidic living, he will. Remember, as a Christian school, we believe in the same Old Testament and good values you do." My father said, "I'll give it a week." School was still school, boring. I lived for recess and especially for basketball practice. At my first practice, the kids were standoffish. After all, I was the only white kid, and by this point, age 15, I was 6 feet 4 inches tall. By my senior year, I had become the star in all league. It was the big game against our rival, Mater Dei. Wouldn't you know, at the last second we were behind by 1. Their coach, having scouted me, had a player foul me. Free throw shooting was my weakness. I stood at the free throw line with the fans screaming. I started to drool and quickly wiped it away, but it came right back. Right before I was to take the shot, their coach called timeout. He wanted to ice me. If I made 1 free throw, the game would be tied and we'd go into overtime. If somehow I made 2, we would win. I don't believe in miracles anymore, but I made both. The fans rushed out on the court, and my teammates carried me off. As I was getting into Jacob's car to go home, my father, who had never come to a game, walked over with a woman. He said, "Gut, and this is your mother." P.S. When Jacob lost his job at the warehouse, it had replaced him with a robot. My father hired him as the Cheder athletic director. In any event, that's Dribble, a fictional short story that I describe as Rocky meets Mrs Maisel. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. I certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 35 books. I think probably the most relevant to this is either starting out stories, starting out stories or relationship stories. In any event, all 35 are on Amazon. I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.